Any additional programs from GoBiz or expansion of their existing programs for small businesses?
I'm not sure at this moment. I'd have to log on, but again, I will send you the link right after, and you can direct them. It's in a Google Doc because we have active links on there where people can go directly versus having to cut and paste. But I'm sure GoBiz has programs that they are also promoting and offering.
Okay, great. Stephen, do we have some questions from our listeners?
Yes, we do. Are we able to get into a Q&A section right now? Are we ready?
Do you have more to share with us, or would you like to get into questions?
No, let's get into questions.
Okay, yes. So I will start with the text questions first. First is that let me do some house cleaning. There will be no translator in Chinese at this moment. However, because you have registered, so we will send out emails about the Chinese resources and the consultations, get appointments, contact information for you. Yes. Another is would there be a replay of the of yesterday call? I assume you mean like a recording link. Yes, we will. We haven't posted out yet, but we will post it. And also there will be, because a lot of you, I know, you want to know if you can get help for your own business, and you have many of your specific situations. For instance, we have like tourism, or we have logistic companies. Because like we definitely suggest you to apply for the help because it wouldn't cost you anything, and the government is actually dedicating a lot of resources to this, so you can always come and get help. But because like we are not sure about like specific cases, because everyone has their own situation, and so you will definitely need to talk to the loan officers while you're applying to explain your situation. So there's no need for like a repetitive questions.
Right.
Yes. And then the email contact, you have registered. Because you have registered, we will send out the emails. Michael and Fiona, if you would like, you guys can leave your contact informations in the chat so people can see it. And okay, and now I'm going to start answering questions. So this is the question from Roger Henrik. Is the SBA lending the money directly, or is just insuring the banks?
They're lending directly, not like a typical SBA loan. This is actually directly from SBA and under their disaster loan program.
Yes.
So we're looking 3.75 advertised over 30 years for for-profits and 2.75 for nonprofits.
Thank you. And another question is from Ray Pan. His question is, our company has some employees with H-1B working visa. My question is, can they apply the EDD and employee benefits?
That is a good question. I do not know, so let me get back to you.
Thank you. Here is a question from Lenny Lee. Hi, Disaster Fund. How long from application submitted to fund distribution? how much time does the loan normally take for approval?
I assume we're referring to SBA disaster loans?
Yeah, I suppose so.
Well, per Kevin Nguyen from SBA on Tuesday, he was saying it takes approximately 2 weeks for them to get back to people. But
Yes.
As you know, the sites are inundated and has been crashing quite a bit. So what he was recommending, just get your application, at least the loan application itself, in, so you're in line, so they can contact you, and then you can start pulling together all the other forms and so forth in the meantime. So as of right now, nobody really knows, I would say.
Yes. So I'll do a little bit of summary. That means if you have everything ready, right now the process time is around 2 to 3 weeks. But because right now there are so many traffic, too many people are applying for this, so it might take a little bit longer than expected. The next question is from Charlene Cho. The question is, what's the loan amount the small business will get? And how will they determine the loan amount? Specific situations, but what is the maximum we can talk about? The maximum?
Well, the maximum for the SBA disaster loan program is $2 million per individual. However, it really depends on your past gross revenues as well as expenses. So within there, they kind of calculate what it would take loan-wise to get you whole, as if you were functioning without this pandemic happening. And then from there, they're saying they'll lend you X amount of money, and if you need more, you can apply for more if you so need it. It's a very fluid situation, and I've worked through a few of these different disasters through the SBA program, and each one actually is different. This one is quite unique because it's nationwide, and so it seems they're making it a lot more user-friendly this time for folks to get access to funds.
Got it. Thank you. Next question from Roger Henrik again, I think. What about securing liens on real estate above the 25K limit? I'm thinking he's talking about the collateral.
Yeah, the collateral.
Yes.
So what Mr. Nguyen was saying is that right now they are not taking collateral, and they are not requiring a personal guarantee, but that very well may change.
Thank you. The next question is from Shu Ping Sun. Is the help just loan for small business, or it can get cash? Along with another question from Jennifer Angel connected. Do we pay this loan back? Yeah. So it's just money handout, or it's a loan?
This is a loan.
Yes, this is a loan.
Yes. So in the negotiations that's happening right now in the Senate and Congress, you probably have heard about a proposal to give $1,200 to each adult and $500 per each child. That economic stimulus package of $2 trillion passed the Senate unanimously, and it is going to go to Congress probably this Friday. There is also in the package an increase of $600 per week for unemployment insurance claims. They would also extend unemployment 3 weeks, and they would also add self-employed individuals to also apply and receive unemployment insurance. And that has not happened before. And I did see a question that if you were self-employed, would you be eligible for unemployment? Under the current laws, you are not. But if this stimulus package passes as we are hearing. Those are some of the proposals that could be included.
Perfect. Thank you very much. The next question, I'm answering some questions. Let's answer some questions from the question part. Kelly Chen here asks a question: is the SBA loan for business who does 7.5 million revenue or lower? If we do more than 7.5 million, what type of assistance we can get?
You know that one, Fiona?
I'm sorry. What was the question? Sorry, I was looking at the question.
Yes. The question is that the company, my company has more than 7.5 million revenue. Does this disqualify me from SBA loan for business, or is there any other type of like assistance we can get from that?
I'm not sure at this moment. Like I said, I will make sure that you all get the links to our small business resources, because sometimes it is industry specific. Sometimes it is based on size. I'm not really sure. Daniel, maybe you have a better sense of how the funding gets distributed.
Well, supposedly at 7.5 million or below, you may qualify for the SBA disaster loan funds. Above that, I haven't heard anything as far as other sources of support. So maybe we can ask around and see, but nothing definite that I know of at this time.
Got it. Thank you. Thank you very much. Here is, okay, Ashley saying, who should I email? So after the meeting, we will send out the contact info again, and you can email, schedule appointments and so forth.
Okay, and I also have a team member on my team, Gloria Lee, L.I., and she speaks Mandarin and Cantonese and also reads and writes Chinese as well. So I'll make sure I get you her contact for those that want to ask their questions and get answers in language and talk to someone.
Sure. Thank you. Once the restaurant owner, this is so for specific case, in general, if you're affected by the disaster, by the coronavirus, COVID-19, you can apply for, but because it's depends on your specific case, so it's really the matter of when you're applying, you will need to provide the required material and information to the officer. Okay, I can see the self-employed question as well.
Mm-hmm.
Here is a question from Xiaozhong Liu. I think it's a question following up from Dan's answer. It's like 2 million per applicant. Is it based upon revenue and cash flow needs? So she's talking about the maximum of 2 million alone.
I'm quite sure the question.
Is the loan for is 2 million? Is it 2 million per applicant, or is like a 2 million maximum you can apply for each case?
Well, for example, if you had 2-3 businesses, the cumulative max would be 2 million.
Okay.
If you had business with that kind of volume where you would qualify for that much, the max is 2 million. But if you did 100,000 last year, they're not going to loan you $2 million.
Yes. Are tax returns required? For example, if someone has not completed and filed their 2018 returns?
In the past, they require 2-3 years tax returns and a P&L for, in this case, last year, 2019. So you do need to show tax returns. And then obviously your P&L, you'll have to get that updated one way or another.
What's the interest rate for disaster loan? 3.75 to 2.75. Okay. Our company annual to this is specific case. Specific case, we have. You can do like one-on-one consulting. You can contact Fiona's team or Daniel's team. Yeah. If employees get unemployment money, are they qualified for getting checks from government?
Yes. So if a worker has lost their job and they meet the program eligibility requirements, then they can sign up with unemployment insurance for California. Our website is www.edd, like Edward David .ca.gov. And if you log onto that website, you can click to see whether you are eligible, and you can also, there's a calculator. So if you are eligible, you can also figure out how much you would be eligible for unemployment for those who have lost their jobs.
Got it. Thank you very much. Again, we have the contact information right below, and we will send out emails afterwards. You can assess them, and you can find where to apply and how to apply and who to talk to if you need help. Here is a question from Nina Vasani. Since it's encouraging the manufacturer to return to the United States, is there any policy for the loan to any new business? Like startups, I suppose.
Yeah, so California, we have a number of incentive programs. The best place to look is GoBiz. So it's www.gobiz.ca.gov. They are the entity that can help you figure out what type of tax incentives or tax credits or sales tax exemptions are available to your type of business. Normally, it is based on whether the company is in a certain zip code. Those zip codes or areas that have lower employment numbers, more needy folks are usually prioritized in these areas. So if you live in a wealthy community in a certain county, you may not be eligible for some of these programs because these programs are really trying to incentivize more local businesses to grow, for people to hire people from the local community, and those are usually in certain designated zip codes and income areas.
Got it. Thank you. Here is a question from Lainey Lee. I think it's an interesting one. If we operate a gaming casino banker type of business, can we qualify for SBA disaster loan? I think Dan has the answer.
I believe gaming is prohibited.
Yes. So gambling, gaming, these are not qualified. If my business was incorporated in June 2019, I only have 6 months of business records. Do I still qualify? I would say because from last time we have a very clear answer to this. So right now, make sure you apply first because it's okay to not take the money. It's not like you apply and then you have to take the money. So just to make sure you get a spot, you should definitely try first before anything else. If the company is owned 100% by non-US citizen, is the company qualified to apply for the loan?
I don't believe so.
Not so. Thank you. Can everyone clarify green card holder will receive this so-called $1,200 per adult and $500 per child? Thanks. From Xiaozong Diu.
I'm asking my team right now, and hopefully I can get an answer to you because I do not know, but I know that there are income limitations. For example, if you are single and you make less than $75,000 per year, if you're head of household making $115,000 a year, or married filing jointly making $150,000 per year under the stimulus plan. It has not passed yet, but it is just a proposal that both adults, for example, would get the $1,200, and having a child in your household, you would get $500 per child. So that is the proposal. If you make more than that, there is going to be a phase-in period, amount. So if you make more than $150,000 up to a certain amount, I don't have that amount yet, you may not get the full $1,200, but you may be eligible to get some amount of that. And I am going to check right now on green card holders. But you have to have filed the tax return as well.
Fiona, is there potential of a moratorium on property taxes in California if this goes on for a while?
Probably not at this moment. Cities and counties depend highly on property tax revenues. So without some sort of assistance, direct assistance in cities and counties, this is their main source of revenues. However, there are members here who have a bill that will waive interest and penalties on any late payment for property taxes. So that is a legislative idea that is going through the legislature right now.
That is some help.
Thank you. Here is a question from Maggie Pang. This also pops up the other day. So I am a rental property owner, and I rent my properties to the tenants. But now the tenants are notifying me they are not able to pay the rent. I also have mortgage, property tax, insurance, and repairs and stuff, and I need to pay. Is there any release on the landlord side of this kind of situation? So first you can apply for the disaster injury loan. That's for sure. And,
right, and I would.
You want to answer? Yes.
And I would talk to your banker. Like I said, Governor Newsom yesterday announced that most of the larger financial institutions have agreed to extend late payment for mortgages. So call your banker and check and see whether your bank is voluntarily participating in this program to help those that cannot pay their mortgage, perhaps because they lost their job or they have tenants not able to pay their rent.
Thank you very much. We move on to the next question. Because of the time constraint, we will answer around 10 more questions, and then we will start with the hand raising question, the audio connection. The next question is some of our employees, they do not get laid off, but they only able to take limited hours of work because of the shutdown for a few weeks. Are they qualified for unemployment money for those few weeks? Because once the office is reopened, we'll start to work again.
I'm sorry. So I was looking up the H-1B.
Yes.
So it says right now, CIS allows H-1B unpaid leave. No official rule for coronavirus furlough by employer. Payroll should keep running if employer forces leave. 60 days layoff grace available.
Okay.
So I'll also send you some guidance on that.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Fiona. We move on to the next question. Regarding the stimulus package from the federal government, will married filing jointly making less than $75K between them receive the $1,200 each if one of them is on Medicare? I'm not quite sure.
Yes. As I understand, it is just based solely on your AGI. So if there is a married couple that makes under $150,000, they would both qualify to get 2 checks for $1,200.
Got it. Thank you very much. We move on to the next questions. Okay. It seems that most of the questions on the chat panel has been answered. There are some repetitive ones, so I would say you can take a look on the recording once we send it out and it's online. And here we move on to the hand raising audio connection. So right now I'm unmuting Ya-Ping Wang. Are you able to speak right now? We move on to next one. Guo Hua Liu.
I'm the owner of the hotel in LAX area, and we have all other hotels owners here. So what kind of help we can get, because the occupancy is low, some are shut down, and a lot of them are Best Western, Holiday Inn Express, all these hotels under 50 people employee, and so we will pay the city tax, TOT tax. So we delay to pay that, and the county property tax, and also defer the loans. A lot of the hotel owners are CMBS loan, which is a securitized loan, and the service is by the bank, but it's not really, you can negotiate with the bank because who knows who owns those securities. So how should we do that? Negotiate with bank. We actually we talk to different banks, different hotel owners. They end up a lot of situations. Wells Fargo, Bank of America, PNC. They all kind of a service to the loan, and they don't know what to do.
Yeah, so I would, number one, start with your banker, because many of the banks that you mentioned are voluntarily also helping in the situation by allowing clients to delay their payments. You should also check on your city and county website, because each city and county is also offering their own type of incentive programs or offering assistance, helplines, and sometimes even money. Here in Sacramento, for example, Mayor Darrell Steinberg offered $1 million of small business loans to small businesses who applied, up to $25,000 per small business. So each city and county is doing a little bit something different depending on their ability to do so.
Thank you.
Fiona, would there be any legislation in the works to put moratoriums on these lines or debt to these hotel owners, whether state or federal?
I don't think there is a moratorium per se, or the banks are all either regulated by the federal government or their state chartered banks. I know that the banks really do want to keep business owners in business. They want to make sure that they have cash flow as well as working capital. So many of the banks are going to continue to offer credit or other means to help small businesses. So I would definitely go and see your banker. First and foremost, obviously the U.S. Small Business Administration has its own programs, and then other localities, cities and counties are also going to be offering different type of assistance. So that's why we have put together this resource guide. We're going to update it as we get more information. But again, I will make sure I send Daniel and Mike the link so that they can share it with you, and you can look at your individual business and see whether you qualify. But there are a lot of assistance programs out there right now.
Okay, they also, we have under 50 people, most of the hotels are under 50 people.
Okay, and I will also see who the best person is for the hotel industry. There's obviously a California Hotel Industry Association, so I will get you also the best contact information for the watchers here, for them to log on to and call for questions.
Great, thank you very much.
We move on to the next question. Paul Schumann and then A. Liu. Paul, are you able to talk?
I am here right now, yes. The question I have for Fiona is, right now, coming next month, we have to come up with an $800 payment for the minimum tax in California. And if we're on a payment plan the past year or so, will there be a moratorium on our monthly payments and a delay in that $800 payment coming up?
Okay, let me find out. I will send an email over to the Franchise Tax Board, and we will also get your question answered.
Okay, we move on to A. Liu. The next one is Zhen Xu. Liu, are you here? We move on to Zhen Xu.
Hi, everyone. My question is, we are a startup company. We do the artificial intelligence consulting and education for the healthcare customers. Because coronavirus, we have a lot of project pending. So for this year, not too much revenue, but we still have to spend a lot of money on the video production or some R&D work. So I'm not sure if there is any specific funding can support the startup companies like us. So it is my question. Thank you.
I want to add in to this because a lot of people are asking similar questions, like one from Jacqueline Morales, biotech companies or like startup companies that are doing still in research or clinical study phase, that they do not have the revenues yet, but they just need the operating capital to keep them flowing, so that in the future they can actually revenue. So is there any policies or programs for that?
We had a similar question Tuesday for the SBA representative, and his answer was to apply, but that was a situation where a client was actually FDA approved and in the human trial phase. I think a lot of it depends on how far down the line are you on having a marketable product, and how much you put into it, and a lot of factors regarding your specific technology, what have you. Because if you think of it, if they open the door to technology companies where the federal government was funding through the disaster program, you'd have every technology company apply. And that would kind of defeat the purpose of what they're trying to achieve, which is keep you in business, but not necessarily support your speculative business. But they did encourage people to apply, so it doesn't take that much to go ahead and do so and speak to a representative there and see what they can do to help.
Does this answer your question, Jen?
Yes, thank you.
Quite well.
We move on to A. Liu. I see you unmuting.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
All right. I want only one question. Is the SBA loan can be used to refinance another higher interest loan?
No, they said that is not allowable. A good question. It does make sense, but traditionally that has not been allowed.
So not possible.
No.
Okay.
But you could apply for a loan and then use it for your future working capital, and whatever revenue you do get in, use that to pay down your debt.
Okay. Thank you.
We move on to Bo Fu Chen. Are you able to talk now?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yep.
Yes. So my question is, the business property tax. I mean, the property tax for our business building is coming up on the April 10th, and is there any extension for that?
You should call your local assessor, but I don't believe there is.
Okay, gotcha. And I have another question. So we are in the essential business, and can we ask employee to take non-paid leave after they use the 2-week pay sick leave by the Family First Care Act? And if the business is still slow at that time?
I can't answer that. I don't know. So I will I will find you the appropriate person or contact to answer that question. I don't know.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
Okay.
It seems that all are yes. Okay, yes, Kevin. Are you able to talk now? Kevin Xie? I see you raising your hand.
Hello? Yes?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. I'd like to know if the business interruption loan is available now, or where we can apply for it.
So can you repeat that, your question?
Business interruption loan is available now?
Business assistance disaster loan? Yes.
No, business interruption.
Interruption.
Which is basically a disaster loan.
I believe that's different. It's two kind of loan from federal.
Are you familiar with the?
I am not, but I'm looking it up.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. So I don't know if that's a federal or a state, but if it's a state program, then I will send you information.
That might have been part of the bill in Congress for funding through commerce. One of the 4 tiers.
Yeah, it should be one of them.
So I'm not familiar with the detail, but I believe, wasn't that recently passed the other day?
That's why I'm asking. I think
No,
I don't know if that's available now. No.
So right now the stimulus package only passed the U.S. Senate. It has not passed Congress, the U.S. House of Representatives. So it's only past one house. The other house is going to come back. They're going to make some tweaks before they send it to the president.
Okay, thank you.
So it will change, and
It will change.
what it looks like in the end may be
Okay.
a little different.
Yes.
One more question. It's any payroll assistance we can get from either government, federal or state, or the small business due to the coronavirus situation?
I don't believe you can get payroll assistance necessarily. I mean, you may be able to access some funds from your bank for small business loans, but I don't know if it's specific to payroll. I do know that if your employees, if they lose their jobs, then they can sign up for unemployment insurance.
Thank you, Kevin. We move on to the next one. Wang Si, are you able to talk now?
Yes. So my question is, besides the SBA loan for small business, what kind of other help or resources can we apply as a small business from the state?
Right. I'm gonna send you all a link to all the resources that we have identified. We will continually update them as more programs come online, but we will out to everyone so you can click on to the exact link. So it's going to be in a Google Doc.
Okay. And another question is about the one-on-one consulting appointment. So with this appointment, can we get a detailed instruction on what we can do, what we should do for, say, a restaurant or a hotel? From what I hear just now, in here, we cannot really discuss specific case, but on one-on-one appointment, can we get detailed answers?
You can get answers more specific to your situation, yes. From there, also, we can try to cater resources towards the areas which you are lacking.
Okay, thank you.
Next question from Arion J. Goodwin.
Yes.
Hello.
Yeah, hi. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Hi, nice to have you all online. My question is, we're a home-based startup, and both us principals, we're online working at our location. Will this also cover rent deferment?
There is a rent and or mortgage deferment.
There's a mortgage, but not necessarily rent.
Right. Yeah. I mean, if the business is run out of the home, that's part of, I guess, all of this, correct? The cost.
If you qualify through SBA, then you can use part of those proceeds towards rent, I believe.
Okay, good.
We can get clarification whether that would work.
Yeah.
When you live and rent at the same place.
All right, and then another question that I did have was, as I'm on the company profile, in 2008 when we opened up the business, we had one address, but now we have it at our home address. Do we still use the business mailing address for everything, or do you want the home address?
You mean as far as when you register
Correct.
for this webinar?
Correct.
A physical address is best.
Okay, thanks. And then how would it be for the when we fill out the application?
It asks you there, you have a specific mailing address, and I think it also asks what address you used on your taxes.
Okay, thank you. And I think there was one other thing. It says damaged property address. Now, there's no damage here, but it's like damage because of this whole pandemic, correct?
It's considered the economic injury portion. You're not physically damaged, not like a fire or earthquake. So
right. And so then would we put same as mailing address then, or it would be the personal address?
Well, you wouldn't put anything under damaged property address.
Okay, nothing under that. Okay, correct. All right, thank you.
It seems that all the question from audio connections has been answered. Nobody's raising hand. And then we will, I will add in a little bit more questions. I will add in one or two questions, and if no further questions are asked, then we will end the seminar. So here's a question from Debbie Kinsinger. Like this question is pretty similar to the previous ones, but I don't think it has been asked. So does my sole proprietor business qualify for a loan, even though I hire independent 1099 consulting business for a significant portion of my work response? So people hire me as a 1099 consultant.
You can definitely qualify.
Yeah.
It will not disqualify.
Yes. Here is a question from Charlene Cho. Can we file claim business interruption with commercial insurance? For this,
I'm not sure.
For this,
I'm not an expert.
Yeah, commercial insurance on the COVID-19. So she's asking.
You know what? We have an insurance commissioner as well, and he has his own website. I'm sure everybody has question and answers on that. So I would encourage you to look on that. We also have 800 numbers for you to be able to call us if you have any questions. So let me just check to make sure that his website is www.insurance.ca.gov.
Thank you very much. This is a disaster loan for at this context. So what's the term? How long will the business pay off the loan?
30-year fully amortized.
Yes. Ping Wang, do you have one? Do you have more questions?
Thank you.
We have 3 more questions to go. All right, 3 more questions.
Okay. I have more question about layoff employees for the hotels under 50 employee. So the association of different hotel owners and companies we're talking. Some people feel that not so clear because of the research on the internet about the federal relief programs and any hotel over 50 employees, you need to pay salary for 3 weeks or something, vacation when they leave, and under 50 employees, small hotels, you don't have to pay. Is that true, or there's any website we can have more information about that? What your comment about federal level and the state level officials on this?
I'm texting my guy right now.
Most of the LAX areas, small hotels, under 50 employees, Holiday Inn Express, Best Western, Days Inns, your name is Hilton Garden Inns, La Quinta, and Comfort Inn. There's some Marriott, Hilton's, Four Seasons, 4 Point. They have more than 50 employees. So there's two kind of hotels. They all lay out people right now.
Right. Okay. I will get that answer.
Thank you very much.
Yep.
Thank you. Okay, we have two more questions. I'm seeing a question from Tatiana Agrier. She wants, I saw earlier in the chat, it says for further one-on-one consultation on emergency assistance for small business, also in Spanish and Chinese, please send email to mikecho@gmail.com. It's Mike from MBDA or State of CA. Thanks for clarifying. If anyone has his full contact info to share, that would be helpful. Michael?
Yes, so I'm a senior consultant from the GoBiz program as well. So what we do is we help small to mid-sized business that's under $7.5 million to prepare for emergencies. And in this case, we are in a crisis and pandemic right now. And so our job is to go out there and try to point small business owners to the right resources. So that's what we do on a daily basis. It's just right now it's a lot more specific in terms of financial help. So that's what we do. And yes, that email is my direct email. You can email me, and then I will forward you to the right personnel that can help you, whether you need Spanish help or Mandarin help. We have all these resources.
Okay, Mike, give me your email again.
Yes, it's Mike Cho, MikeChou @gmail.com.
Okay.
Okay, I have sent out the email address in the chat so people can copy it down. And one last question. There's a question from Ada Sanchez. Are the proposed income requirements gross or net for the stimulus check going out to the families and individuals? So gross or net?
It's based on AGI, adjusted gross income, so it's net.
Thank you very much, Fiona. So our Q&A section ends here. And I wonder if Mike or the panelists want to add anything.
Let me just say that if you have any further questions after thinking about things tonight, be sure to either give us a call or email us, and we'll do what we can to get your questions answered.
Yeah, so I will give you again my email if I guess if Stephen's typing it in, it's fiona.ma@sto.ca.gov. And then my assistant that speaks Chinese, Mandarin, Cantonese, reads and writes is gloria.li, L-I, @sto.ca.gov. And you can always log into my website. I have a lot of information on that, and that is sto.ca.gov.
And I also just want to mention this again, the one-on-one consultation. they're free of charge. We are sponsored by the state government. So the small business owners, you guys don't need to pay us. It's a free service from the state government.
And when you call my office, obviously it's free also.
Yeah, thank you very much for clarifying. So our seminar ends today, and we'll send out the emails, and you guys can reach them. Thank you very much, Fiona. Thank you very
Great.
much, Mike.
Thank you.
very
Be
much, Dan.
safe. Be safe and be well.
Thank you all very much. So I stop recording, and our webinar ends now. Everyone are okay to leave.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.